Good evening, greetings from Indonesia. Rahayu Guruji, good evening.
Rahayu, good evening. We have a serious topic tonight because it's evening time now. I'm trying to make it, make the clip ready in 1 or 2 days so that we can immediately post it. And we have a very serious topic to discuss, and that's why normally it's a lighter subject, lighter talk, and we have a lot of fun, but well, this time it's not the fun that we are looking for. We have to be serious, and we have to be serious about something that I'm going to tell you. Maybe you can speak a few words first before we start.
I think today we will be a little bit about the topic, Guruji. We will be talking about kidnapping and forced conversion, which is actually happening in a country where it is majority of a specific belief, and they use that belief to justify
kidnapping and conversion and all those things. Let me read out in a nutshell what is the story about. An update on 7-year-old Priya Kumari, who has been missing for more than 2.5 years in the state governed by unholy administration. This girl was 7 years old when she was kidnapped, and until now the parents don't know where the girl is. But now, since last 1 or 2 weeks, they have been very vocal, risking their lives in that country where the state is supporting the abductors. In the name of a certain belief system, they're supporting the abductors. And this is the condition because this kind of thing is happening almost every day. Every year, thousands are small girls. Thousands are kidnapped, abducted, and then forcibly converted to a certain belief system. They are raped because in this state, when somebody has reached the age of puberty and she starts menstruating, she is no longer called a child. So a rape means marriage. This is the state of condition there. Continuing with the story, it starts with the kidnapper who is from a specific belief system. They take pride in their ancestry. They feel they belong to some very great family, but they are doing not only great but unholy acts. Now this man, whose name is known, he had approached Priya's mother to leave her family of husband and 3 children and marry him. So this man who has abducted a small girl, before he abducted, he went to the mother and asked her that, look, if you marry me, leave your husband, leave your 3 children, I'll do nothing, get converted to my belief system, and then marry me and I'll leave your family in peace. And that's why we were going to sing some songs on peace, which I think are not accurate and not in good taste to be sung today. They are doing all this in the name of peace. If this is peace, then we would rather have no such peace. So 2.5 years ago, during the procession of a religious ceremony, and this religious ceremony pertains to the same faith, the same belief system that the kidnapper possesses. The father and this little girl, 7 years old, Priya, they were standing on the side outside the house, giving water to the people in the procession. People were, of course, they all get thirsty when they have a procession, and it's a religious procession. So the father and the daughter are giving water to the people who are taking part in the procession. That is when they kidnap Priya. She has been with them all this while, and the state does nothing. It was in front of hundreds of people, in fact thousands. The child was kidnapped in front of thousands of people who were in the procession, and in front of the parents. The father is standing there helpless. Can you imagine what happens to you when your child is being abducted in front of you, before your very eyes, and watched by thousands of people who do nothing? Now, the kidnappers say that they will release Priya when her mother leaves her family and marries the kidnapper. The kidnapper has the courage to talk to the parents, talk to the mother. If you leave your belief system, you leave your faith, and you come, get married to me, leave your family, we will leave Priya. Otherwise, Priya remains with them. Please pray that Priya is returned to her parents unharmed. Also think what we can do on the practical level. Prayer is one thing, but there's a petition. Let's do something on the practical level. How to save Priya and hundreds of Priyas that could be adopted this very year. Every year, the parents stand helpless because they don't have means. They go and report to the authorities. The authorities, they do nothing at all. Now the problem why the parents are so concerned, because nowadays girls reach their puberty, they start menstruating at the age of 9.5, 10. So if she is not released now, they will forcibly convert her, they will forcibly rape her, maybe gang rape sometime, and then declare that she has got married on her own consent. She had agreed to the marriage, 9.5 years old. We shudder to think what they might have done to Priya at the age of 7, and all this time for 2.5 years, and now when she is 9.5 years old. The parents are at loss to even think what has been happening to her for the last 2.5 years. Anything can happen to her. Anything could have happened already. Maybe she was gang raped, maybe she is sick, maybe she's bleeding all over, maybe she is near death, maybe she is dead. We don't know. The parents are desperate, with no one to turn to for help, in a country in which nobody gives them any ears, lend them any ears. Nobody is courageous enough to stand by them, by the parents. So they made appeal to some friends outside that country. And those people outside the country, I know one person personally. He lost his brother and his nephew, both were killed by the same regime. Nothing is done. To this date, no action taken. Not even an inquiry who killed the brother. And the brother was not an ordinary person. He was a medical doctor and also a politician. He was the chief of a small party. Politician, medical doctor gets killed like that no inquiry, no investigation, nothing. This man, having lost his brother and his nephew, and he is not able to return to his country for the last 20 years, 22 years, he stands alone on the streets of Britain, on the streets of Toronto, on the streets of New York, in front of the offices of United Nations, in Geneva. He speaks his heart out. Whatever number of people he can collect, 5, 10, 15, 20 people, everybody is afraid that they'll be subjected to the same fate. They'll have the same fate like all those people so far. Dead, killed. Even though they live in a different country. But the intelligence of this country is everywhere, and they can get killed anywhere and everywhere for speaking out the truth, for standing by the truth.
Mr. Vice President, forced abduction of children, girls and minorities are unending issue in Sindh. Baby Priya Kumari abduction is an example of abduction. Just in month of June, 3 Hindu girls kidnapped in 5 days in Sindh.
Let us shed tears if we must, but let our tears spur us to do what we can in whatever part of the world we are in. We can shed tears, we can pray, of course, and that's important. But what can we do on the practical level? So this is our humble contribution, a small step taken by us by sending out this video to all the people who are like-hearted, who may hear. But at the same time, because this video is going to be on public domain, so we hope the kidnappers get to listen to watch this video. We hope the state administration of this unholy place, they also listen and they take some steps to save Priya Kumari. Please send prayers for Priya and for all the girls like her who have been kidnapped, to their families and to the administration of this unholy regime. This is the least we can do. Pray, that is least we can do. What else can we do on the practical level that is important? Let's pray that not one single person in the administration, of that regime, stops doing or takes some action. And they care enough about our girls that the fact that they don't care about these girls when abducted at the early age of 5, 6, 7 years, it defies all definitions of being called a civilized government. Which civilized state administration can allow this to happen under their very noses? Being sent out by some friends overseas. Just read it out to you. You can Google for Priya Kumari, abduction, kidnapping, and you'll get so many links are there. This is a story that I have shared with you. You have your own opinion, or maybe we start with you first, Divya.
Alright, Guruji, thank you very much for sharing the information, Guruji, because if you're talking about wars or the things that are done based on the belief system, I think there are lots of it happening in this or on this earth. But actually, I could feel like it's just supporting only one belief. As we can know, we all know that there is one war which is happening. And the whole world is supporting that country, which is actually doesn't exist before. But such things, that these beliefs who do those unholy things, no one knows about it. No one's even speak about it. I think it's something that is not equal, and also I don't know what to say, because like maybe it's also our fault that we're not able to raise our voice to support, not on the basis of the beliefs, but on the basis of the humanity. Something sad. I mean, like, it's been years, you know, wars based on the belief system, and that's so sad.
The basic thing is that there was some thinker, I forgot the name, but he wrote, European thinker I think, said bad things happen when good people, they don't speak out.
Yes, that's true.
When good people who know what truth is, they don't stand for truth. They don't stand by truth. They're afraid of their own lives. They don't want to risk anything. When these good people, we can be good. We can be good. We can see that this is unholy act. But if we do not speak, then the bad people, they have more weight. They become more cruel because nobody is standing against them. And the first thing to happen is when you specifically mention this country's name or the belief system that they follow, or the interpretation rather of the belief system that they follow, just the interpretation, you can go to jail for that, or you can be killed. You can be for blasphemy. You are just talking about people who are misrepresenting a certain belief system. A certain belief system, not all, but still.
And I think that nowadays it is happening that humanity stands below the belief system. They don't even care if, like, they just care about, you know, supporting their a groups of friends or a groups of family, a group of civilization that is on the same belief system. Yes. And if that same belief system does this such unholy things, they don't, you know, they try to hide it. I think that
They deny it, but it's happening. It's happening.
But what do you think, Guruji? Is it what is actually now is going on? Is it said in their belief system that to do such things, to do this, that you have been, you know, telling the stories that?
It's a huge conspiracy, and perhaps the conspiracy started out of the Second World War. So this is not a new story. It's an old story. Machiavelli, an Italian thinker, he writes that he's giving an advice. So this is how the mind of Machiavelli works. He's telling a prince, if you don't want people to object to whatever you say, if you don't want people to revolt, if you don't want people to stand against you, even though you can do any mischief, you can do any mistakes, if you want people not to stand against you, then you do two things. Feed people. Second thing, entertain them. The whole energy is pushed downwards. In our language, the language of yoga is the first 2-3 chakras. So food, good food, cheap. We went to a cheap restaurant a few days ago. They can sell something under $1. Under $1. Nobody else can sell those things in Jakarta under $1. It is what? To keep our youth there. Don't go anywhere else. Enough food. They don't care if at the age of 40 you have a gastric problem, gastro problem. They don't care. Food. And then second is entertainment. Entertain them with all kind of dreams. I was telling you a few days ago, and today also I was discussing this with you. Someone who is a fan of an artist, what chance she has or he has to meet this artist? What chance? Almost 0%. Out of 100 people, maybe one person by luck, if he or she gets to meet the artist that she is a fan of. He doesn't even care for you. He's making WhatsApp groups, he's making all kinds of groups, and he's advertising. And we believe. We believe. It's just like last time Sophia Loren used to appear for to promote a certain soap brand. You ask Sophia Loren, does she really use that soap? Never. She would not. She would not. And this guy, this actor, this actress, I won't even call them actor, actress, they are just business people. They go to one restaurant, they go to second restaurant, and we get attached even to those restaurants. We want to go to that restaurant. So our youth today has become, without any power, without any critical thinking, all their energy is wasted on hiburan, on entertainment. They cannot think about all these things. We are the first one in all Indonesia who will be speaking on this out of 100 or 200 plus million. 1 in 220 million for me is a huge
population.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I think none of them really care, because like the condition of our nation itself is really, we're going somewhere that they don't even care about all this, which supposed to be one of the major topic that must be discussed, as because our nation itself is based on, these valuable things.
Our founding father Bung Karno was saying that for us, freedom is not the end. Freedom is the beginning. So we can become free and we can act, we can speak against all the injustice in the world. Well, we don't speak. Our youth, they don't even have enough brains, I'm very sorry to say. I mean, most of them, maybe some are good, but most of them, they don't even have gray cells enough in your brain to think what is happening in the world.
All right, Guruji, maybe I could ask the other friends that anyone wanted to, speak up their thoughts maybe on this topic.
On this particular topic?
Yes.
Thank you. I feel very grateful that I'm in this community, that I get to, you have opened a lot of our eyes, even my eyes about this topic, because without you, I don't think I will ever get to know about this. Because as we know, you have also mentioned the youth in Indonesia. I feel that the problem with the youth is we are very easily provoked. Like we just mentioned that there is a war happening that is very popular, and everyone is supporting a certain country. We all know that. And this is very popular among the youth actually, Guruji. But nobody knows the truth. Nobody research. Everybody's just whatever is there, whatever shorts or reels we watch in Instagram or TikTok, that is what gets in the youth's mind. And they will not have time to watch an hour podcast like this. They will not want to. Maybe, I think we should, because you said that we are the first people to talk about this, maybe after this we, firstly, as Guruji said, we have to upload it fast and try to reach out to other people as soon as possible through reels also. I think this would be a very good solution to reach out for maybe a few young generations who really cares about this, if there is. And this is a question that I also want to ask to you, Guruji. Like, this is very unfortunate that because of a certain belief system and also their maybe political interest and other things, that this happened. What has happened to our civilization, Guruji? I mean, we used to say like, before it was not civilized, the First World War, Second World War. But I see whatever has happening to Priya Kumari is very, very sad in the modern world where we already know about human rights. And what's the use of anything that happened during the Second World War if something like this can happen this time, Guruji? It's very sad. Yeah.
Well, indeed, after the Second World War, those people who are in power, they could feel the power of armaments, the power of weaponry. When they threw a bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they knew that Japan is going to surrender. Japan didn't have money to continue. They didn't have enough food to continue. Germany had surrendered already. So the attack on Japan on Hiroshima and Nagasaki was not justified. Not justified. They just want to terrorize the world. Look, this one bomb we have got now, it can destroy you. Better behave properly. Behave properly means enslave to them. Listen to them. And that's what happened. For next 20 years, we were in a Cold War situation. Our youth, they may or may not even understand what is Cold War. More than 20 years we were having Cold War. It was not a big war, but the Second World War, it led us to a very lengthy Cold War. Where so many countries, they lost all their assets, they lost all the savings they had just to equip them with armaments. And they were made to be afraid of their neighbor. Now for this country, this unholy place where Priya Kumari unfortunately is born. This country is being supported by a superpower. Why? Because they are afraid that the neighbor will become a superpower. So you write letters to that country, you write anything, you tell anything, you meet their ambassador, you do everything. You don't care. Their interest is we keep this state uncivilized, barbaric state. We keep it to just make sure that their neighbor does not become world power. It's all politics, like you said, Prema, everything is politics. And politics and economy, very unfortunately, they have become like intertwined. You cannot separate them anymore. Political interest and economic interest, both of them are like hands and gloves. They go together.
But I think now you just mentioned that politics and economic is intertwined. But actually I think they use belief system now.
Oh yes, belief system is being used. Belief system is being exploited. Why? Because those people who believe in their belief systems, they are made not to discuss their belief system. Yes. You just repeat, you just memorize the text. They don't teach you to discuss faith. No. You cannot discuss because it's word of God. You're not supposed to discuss. You just take it as it is.
But if God have already told, like, you cannot discuss what I've, given the message that I've sent to you, then why did He created us with, this capability of doing critical thinking and all this which is in our brain? The system itself is supporting us.
Your guess is my guess. I mean, we cannot even, unfortunately, Divya, we cannot even discuss this now. Unfortunately, we are in the middle of such a situation that even this very important topic we cannot discuss. If God is Almighty, why there are so many belief systems?
And why he is or she is afraid of, being discussed?
I can talk about the faith that I follow, but not because I follow it blindly. But when I read out of so many faiths, my faith tells me to become a human being. Manur Bhava. Become a human being. Other faiths are saying you become a follower of this system or that system. So above all, like you discussed it earlier, that humanity is lost. We are putting the cart before the horse. We are putting the cart. The belief system is supposed to make us more human, more civilized. But now, most of the belief system make us more uncivilized, inhuman.
That's true, Guruji. Maybe Brother Deepak want to say something?
Rayu Guruji, is feeling so sad. It's very horrible things happen. Keep loading in my mind. What could we do? And then I really appreciate what you inspire us to do this podcast, to bring this topic. I can hardly wait so we can menyebarluaskan, ya, so we can say this spread this topic. Maybe some of our friends have networking with the same youth organization with the same belief system, which we hope that they still have human inside. So who knows that they can speak up, and with their background, organization background, international recognized, maybe the voices will be heard. So that's all, Guruji.
Before we started this podcast, I think this afternoon I must have been very low. And when you are very low, there is a divine intervention. So the voice I hear from my inside, from within, call it intuition or whatever. You do your part, your dharma. Warn people that these things are happening in this civilized world. Rest, you cannot do anything. You just do your dharma. If people find it convenient, they want to listen to you, is their good karma. If people don't want to listen to you, it's their bad karma. But you do your dharma. I am not related to Priya Kumari in any way. We are all here gathered today. We are not related to her. We don't even know their parents. But we came to know through someone who knows the parents and who has all the data, and he has submitted all those data to the higher authorities. Nothing is happening. So I was even thinking, what change can we bring about? Even this podcast maybe is not worthy, not useful. You might as well just keep quiet like others. Then this voice comes and says, no, you do your dharma, and let people who want to listen to you, they listen. They don't listen, they don't listen.
I think this is very important, Guruji. At least the one who will see this topic, they hear this topic, can think. Maybe not most of the people, but the one who still have human insight, yeah. And then they can see how dangerous the belief system get to harm to the human, and then raise the awareness about it. So at least we can spread this awareness to our society how dangerous it could be. Yeah.
And I think, Guruji, based on that, what
Yeah.
you've been talking about, at least they get to know, they get informed first, because like totally this topic is actually I came to know from you.
Yeah.
There is nothing in the social media, even like what we say nowadays, that social media is something like you can get to know about any kind of news, within a second, instant news. Yes, but there is nothing there that is also discussing about this kind of topic. About this country also, they don't, even though we know that a lot of unholy things happening since years back ago. I mean, like, but no one really, tried to,
Awaken people. You see, the thing is, this is the problem with social media. They are busy entertaining us.
I think we ask for the
We asked.
We only use it for
Yeah. Even you see the accidents happening. We are busy in making our contents. We are busy filming them. Nobody cares if somebody dies. Nobody. This is very unfortunate because we become very insensitive rather, not sensitive enough towards other people's, fate and the problems they face. It is again when you go back to the World War II, when Germany got involved in the war, and of course because of Germany the war continued. So many countries in Europe, London, Britain, where is Germany? We are very far away. They'll not come to us. They'll not come to us. Germany, Paris, Paris should be worried. All the countries should be worried. Poland was taken over. And Britain, Churchill said, they cannot do anything to us. Why should I get myself involved?
Why is that?
Because this is why the good people, they keep quiet. Or maybe he has a vested interest to sell his steel. Because Germany wanted steel to make arms. Can be anything. We don't know now exactly, but the history is there. And so many thinkers have got their own thoughts on the subject. Whether Churchill said that because he wants to sell his steel, or he really didn't care. Then when London was burning, only then Churchill realized, now this is a big thing to happen. I have to get involved. So unless and until something happens to us, we are not awakened. We don't care for others. With that, let us make this special episode a bit short. Maybe you can talk on some other subject if you still have time. Let us end this episode dedicated to Priya Kumari with a song that is Heal the World. But before that, let us ask Mahamaya, the Mother of the Universe, for her guidance in this matter. So we are opening this book called The Gospel of Mahamaya, the Gospel of the Mother of the Universe. We are opening it at random, and we hope there will be some guidance for Priya Kumari, the family, and for all of us. Your spiritual growth is my sole concern, but if you refuse to grow, what can I do for you? Books can make you knowledgeable, but knowledge alone without personal experience and effort can never free you from bondage. So it's not only the books, we came to know about this, is the knowledge. But this knowledge itself is not enough. What do we do with this knowledge? How do we move about it? How do we take some practical steps? Merits earned and accumulated in 7 lifetimes are not enough to qualify you for this job. What we are doing now is something that is grace. Even Mahamaya says, that the fact that we are awakened to this, that we are sensitive enough to understand this matter, it is not because of our own efforts, but it is also her grace. She is leading us. Even this podcast is led by her. You still need a special grace, which you have. Alas, you lost this hard-earned job because of your arrogance and stubbornness, but there is a warning. If I am arrogant, if I am stubborn, it doesn't care me like this afternoon I was just thinking, what should I do, what can I do, what change can I make? If I had given up to those ideas, then the grace would have been lost. So I think it's an important message for all of us. Those who are listening to this episode also, do something. Just the knowledge is not enough. It is the grace that we all involved in this podcast, listening and watching this show, it is grace of God, grace of Mother of the Universe, Mahamaya, that we have earned, not because of our own merits, not for merits done in 7 lives previously, no. But it is by grace alone that we are sensible and sensitive enough to make this. So I think this is a reminder for all of us to never stop. We do our part. We can become very unpopular because we'll be talking on subjects which are popular against those subjects. But let us not care. Let us not care about all those things, because we are not here to collect money. We are not here to make money. We are here to serve fellow living beings. Money is important, yes. But for money making, there are so many other ways. This podcast is a grace, not because of our knowledge, but because of grace. Let us make the best out of it. And also the parents of Priya Kumari and the parents of all those girls, thousands and thousands of girls in that same country who have lost their children, their small girls, and they are now forcibly converted. They are following a different belief system just because they belong to a different belief system. Raped, gang raped, and they cannot do anything, they cannot say anything. Let us pray for them, let us sing for them, heal the world.
There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. In this place, I see there's no hurt or sorrow. If you want to know why, there's no love that cannot lie. In my heart, I feel you are all my brothers. There are ways to get there if we care enough for the living. Make a better place, make a better place. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Heal the world, make it a better place for you